Hey guys, Cindy over at paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. I am working on my Tina's Mask Makes, and we are all the way up to day 81. I'm so excited, guys. We only got a few days left. Well, a few compared to when we started. We're doing book page window envelopes. Now, I think these are a great idea. And when on the video that I watched, which was her week... what is this, 81? So her week 181. So I watched the middle one. I don't think she's gotten up to 81 on the twos yet. But she had commented that very close to filming week 81, she did window pockets of a different kind. And if I'm not mistaken, she made window pockets out of wallpaper. So I cut some wallpaper here. If we have time, we might look at that. The other thing she said was... she has a giant square punch. I do not have a giant square punch. We are going to be doing this the old-fashioned way with a ruler and a cutter, or as she did with a card. So we could use a card if it'll fit. So there's multiple options. And I have already gone and glued book page together. I didn't figure you wanted to watch me glue book page together again. I used a glue stick, and I glued them opposite directions, because when I fold this up, it allows for the inside of my pocket to be right side up and the outside of my pocket to be right side up. So if in my window I want to keep the words and kind of decorate and use the words as the background inside my pocket, they're right side up. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through and fold all of these. Okay? We're going to fold them all in half. All right? So you're just going to take all of your pockets or all of your pieces, and you're going to fold them all in half. Now, the other thing is because you're going to put a window in it, you want it to have a decent amount of like space. So I wouldn't necessarily make a pocket that tall, but I might keep it for these because I feel like it would be, yeah, keep an eye on me, guys. I'm doing it. We're doing it. This one's probably going to need some trimming. I have several different kinds of book page. So this is out of a vintage book. This is out of a vintage reader, like for school, and we're going to have to trim this up because it got glued together weird. This is out of a dictionary. Okay. So I thought that might be fun, and I cut the pages to fit in my book. So this is a 5.5-inch pocket. I did the same thing with this textbook. So we have, I don't really want a picture like that. But I guess we could, I don't know. We'll see. We'll go with it and see what happens. Okay. So these are our book pages. I'm going to set these off to the side. I'm going to pull this one out. And then what you basically do, if you have a punch, you can do this real easy with your square punch. I do not happen to have one. So we are going to take this card and we're going to cut around it. I hope. This is what she did. I'm going to try it and hope for the best. So, this is that slippery paper or smooth paper that she said was kind of, kind of, what do you call it? It'll catch and tear. So I'm trying to push just hard enough to get through at least one layer, and then I go back over it. Oh, there it was pulling. Okay. You just try and keep your card steady. And then you punch out your window. Okay. Now, if there's any spots where it caught, I'm going to get my little scissors for this. You can just go in here and clip it. Well, Okay. My scissors are being a little obnoxious. Or the pocket is, I'm not sure which. Okay, so we're going to go in here, we're going to clip it. All right, and there's my window. Now, it's a little jaggedy in places where it caught. You can trim that up. Now that the space is open, you can kind of trim it and, you know, get it to where you want it if that's bothering you. I'm going to put this card back because I don't know that. I might try my ruler on my next one and see how that does. Okay, so this is my thing. Now, what are we going to use as our acetate? Well, I saved... This is sticker packaging. You know how you buy stickers and like this. These things that you buy at Hobby Lobby and stuff. I save the bag. Well, for some things. Stickers, a lot of times I will, because stickers have a tendency, it has a tendency to be nice and flat. Okay. So we're going to go, I'm going to cut the flap off because it's sticky. Okay, so we're not going to use that. And then I'm going to cut this end off because it's got a big hole in it. Where the sticker pack was hung up on a peg or whatever. And then now it's a tube. I know it's really hard to see acetate on camera, but it's a tube. So I'm going to cut the tube open so that I get one flat piece of acetate. Okay, and then you just want to cut a piece that will fit over your window. Now you could use the piece that came out of your window kind of as a guide. I'm going to cut around that, leaving a border. So, because obviously we need something to glue to the frame, right? So I'm just cutting around this, leaving a border. Okay, this stuff is very staticky. All right, now I'm going to turn my pocket over and I'm going to put glue around my window. Now, a point Tina made was you don't want your glue oozing out all over the place. So, kind of like we do with fabric, she smushed the glue down so that it wasn't oozy. So I might take my glue spreader. I'm going to peel it first because it's been used a lot lately, making covers and whatnot. I have a small window with Fabri-Tac not drying right away. Okay, and I'm going to just smush this flat so that when I stick my acetate to it, it doesn't mush out onto the window. All right, and I'll pick up my acetate and we'll just put it down on here. Okay, just like that. Now, and then you have a window in your pocket. You see that? Now, my extra little bit of advice, and you guys know me, I'm always being very, very, I don't know, overly cautious maybe. A lot of times when you're gluing this acetate down, you put the piece around the window and then your glue doesn't go all the way out to the edge. So there's like this little bit of acetate that lifts up right there. I don't want my, whatever I'm sliding into my pocket, to catch on the acetate and rip it off of my window. Okay? Just want to make sure I can't see the tape. All right? So I just want to put that in there so that the acetate, the edges of the acetate are held down. All right, so I don't think the sides are going to be so much of a problem. You could tape them down if you wanted to, but I'm pretty sure the sides would be okay. And then, oh, the tape must have gone over my crease, which isn't a bad thing. It'll just reinforce the bottom of the pocket. Okay, and then there's my pocket. So if you want to decorate back here with something, you obviously want to do it now before you glue your pocket shut. I'm going to set this off to the side because I might decorate that and I don't want to close it up. Okay, so we're going to try the ruler method next. And I think I'm going to do it on the inside, the back side. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my pocket what I should do is measure my pocket. I know you guys are like, oh Lord, she's measuring. All right, we're going to go, let's bring this over so I have an inch thing to measure by. And we're going to go in about 3/4 of an inch. No, in about 1/2 an inch. And we're going to come in on this side 1/2 an inch. I think that'll be enough. Yeah. Okay, and then I need to decide how high I want it to go. We're going to go up here to the just under the top words. All right, and I'm going to go in 1/2 an inch and in 1/2 an inch. All right, now we're going to cut. I just wanted to make sure I had corners marked so that when I do the cutting, all right, and I'm going to go to this side and cut these corners. And I'm making sure I'm cutting so that my pencil marks are on the piece that I'll pull out, hopefully. Of course, that makes them very hard to see on this side, but... Okay. And then we're going to cut this way. Again, those must not be lined up exactly right. As you can see, these get a little time consuming. I mean, you are trying to cut. With a punch, this would go a lot faster. I just don't happen to have a big enough square punch to do this with. So, all right. That worked a little better than the card. Okay. And then I can take this again and use it to cut my acetate. Again, this stuff is very staticky, so there's like all kinds of stuff sticking to it. Like little wispy pieces of paper and whatnot. They're all just kind of sticking to it. All right, so I'm going to give it a frame around the outside. And we're going to cut it free. Uh-oh. Let's put it up here because I have... Down there's some cuts in it. I know, I'm off my thing. I'm going to put it up against this edge because down there I've got some cuts in it that will interfere with my piece. So we're going to cut it this way. All right. Then we're going to turn it and we're going to cut it this way. Like I said, you want to be bigger than your piece so that you can glue it to your frame. Okay, now let's put our glue on and we'll have another one done. I did not, by the way, I know I mentioned yesterday I might find out about the power outage. It totally slipped my mind today while I was at, first of all, I got up way too early. because for co-op I have to be up early, especially since I'm doing the teaching thing. Last night I threw today's lesson together, and then I went to bed. Well, I actually stayed up for a little bit, but and then I cut up way too early. For me, I'm a night owl, so getting up early is hard for me. But neither here nor there. I was just so tired. It just totally slipped my mind to ask. Okay, and there's our piece of acetate. I am going to do the tape trick on the top and bottom because I feel like these edges will get caught and end up catching. And just like, I mean, it's kind of like the acetate on envelopes. Have you guys ever found an envelope where the acetate has separated from the window of the envelope? I mean, it's just kind of glued in there, so I'm trimming this as I go because it didn't get matched up correctly, and it needed trimming. Okay. Oh, I got tape up here too. Okay. We fold our pocket. And there we go. We have another one made. And like I said, you would need to decorate the inside of the pocket if you're going to put any decoration back there. All right. Okay, and then we have this one. This one seems lots of fun, right? I'm going to trim it because it's very crooked. And what I really should do is trim it with a ruler, but I'm stubborn. And see, along the side, whoa, I'm stubborn, and therefore my pocket will be crooked. That is so crooked. And that is so not the same size. Okay. Oh, guys. I'm going to end up cutting this pocket down to nothing. So anyway, yeah, I forgot to say anything at co-op today. And so I have no idea if anybody, and nobody was talking about it. So I have no idea about the blackout and what caused it or any of that. So, oh well. All right. Now, do you know what I did want to try? Okay, we did 2 of these rectangular ones, right? Hang on just a second, guys. Okay, so I have all these shaped cutters. You guys have seen me pull these out before. That's too big. I thought it might be kind of fun. That's too big. Well, maybe. Might not be able to do it. Oh, let's get the big one. Yeah, this will work because I can go small with it. All right, and then I'll use my widest blade. Let me see. Widest. Doesn't necessarily have to be the widest. Oh, yeah, it better be. Excuse me. Okay, so the idea here being to make a different shaped window. Again, the idea, everything else would be the same idea. You just kind of okay. So now my window in my pocket is an oval. That's fun, right? And I'm going to do the same thing with the acetate. I'm going to use my oval that I cut off as a size reference to get a piece of acetate just big enough to cover my oval. And hopefully not a lot bigger than I need. Well, I really got to put those scissors through a sharpener or something. Okay, and it's got to fit, right, inside my pocket. So we're going to trim this up a little bit because it's a little bit big. Okay. All right. Now, the place that's most important for it to hold with the glue is right around the outside of your shape. In my mind, that's where you need to make sure you get your glue. I have in the past cut acetate, these acetate packages. I have cut them with the cutter. So taking this cutter and that shape, I could use the next size and make an oval shaped piece of acetate to go in here so that I don't have the excess corners. That is an option with these. They will cut the acetate because I did it when I made CD pockets. This is very similar to making CD pockets. And when I made CD pockets, I used a cutter to cut my circles in the acetate so that I had all right. So that's my window. And same idea, you've got a little window in there with a little, okay, and then I've got a little oval of book page here that we can hold on to for something. I have a couple more over here done. Remember, we folded these other ones and we cut them. So let's see if we can cut some other shapes. I may not put acetate in them. We may just cut shapes out of them. And then we'll try and decorate one of these ones we finished. Sorry, I'm standing here kind of numbly staring at the fact that I don't know what I did with my... they're both over here. Okay. I was like, I don't know what I did with the ones I did. The ones I finished. Okay, so... couple of different ideas. You could put a really interesting shape in here. So if I take this and I cut with my blades, I have plenty of room so I can make it the biggest window possible. Some of you may know what I mean if you've ever used these. So I'm going to make this the biggest diamond shape that I have a blade for. You just have to put some pressure on it and hold everything still. What's nice is the shapes themselves have they have little silicone spots that help hold them down. Okay, and I cut out my little piece. I hold on to these because you can use them for other stuff. I'll probably hold on to all these shapes that we've cut out. You can use those for stuff. All right, and then we would put that up, and that would be my pocket. Now, for this one, I might actually line that with a piece of paper. I don't necessarily, that's not actually what I want being visible through there. So I might take a scrap of paper, like this one, and put it in there like that and line that pocket. I don't know that I'll use that scrap of paper, but you get the idea. And then I have that window. So it's kind of fun to use the different shapes. I've got one here that's a square. If you can also offset. So if I decide that I want to do an offset piece, I could maybe set this off to one side or the other. Oh, wait, I'm about to cut through the front and the back. That would be bad. All right, so I'm going to put this on here like this. Here's my fold down here. And we're going to cut a square, an offset square. So this square is offset from the center of my pocket. if you get my meaning. So see, that's not right in the middle, and but you still get the same effect. Kind of a cool, and you got plenty of room over here to decorate with something. So these are a lot of fun. I like these window pockets. If I wanted, and I have small, I can do, can I? No, I need my big circle. This is why I brought the big ones out. Because a lot of times when you've got something this small, sometimes the smallest one won't fit. But if you take the big one, and do the smallest or the biggest blade, the widest space. So not this one. Okay. I'm kind of trying to center it. This is the nice thing about it being clear. I can kind of... Ooh, that's going to be a really narrow thing up there. Might not want to do that. What about this? Will this fit in here? This will fit in here. Maybe we'll do this. I'll do another diamond. Except smaller, since it's a smaller pocket. Okay, I'm going to cut this one and then we're going to decorate. Okay, so there we go. And then we have a pocket. So whatever you have that you can use to cut windows, you can make these windows any shape you want. I mean, they don't have to be rectangles. So let's get the ones that we did, that we put acetate on. And I think one of my favorite ideas for this is to get, because this is nice and thin and won't interfere. Look, my box is broken. Because these are nice and thin and won't interfere with any of my they're not going to interfere with the things going in and out of the pocket because they're so thin. I just like those blue flowers. I think they're kind of pretty. I want something else to go with it, though, and I'm not sure what. Maybe a piece of this. Yeah, that might be kind of fun. Okay, let me get a little piece of book page. We'll put this down with glue stick. Get my cutters out of the way. We'll put this down with glue stick. Hopefully that'll hold it. This is just paper, so it's not anything thick. Not cardstock, not any kind of little chipboard decorative pieces or anything like that. It's just a piece of paper. All right, and we'll put that down there like that. Okay, and then we'll peel this off. I wish they had built-in tabs. I know that would be harder to cut. I'm just... Sometimes trying to get these things to peel away from their pieces is tough. If you're making really small windows, you could use that as a piece of acetate. Have to be a really tiny window, though. All right. You know what they would be good for? Like if you're making those specimen cards. I should start saving those. So if I want to make specimen cards, I can use them. Okay, so we're going to put that on there. All right, now let's glue our pocket shut. Okay. See, and then when you're looking in the pocket, you can see the fun little stuff we added. Now, of course, your question is, how do you want to decorate your pocket? And do you want to put a notch in it because it's... Okay, so your pocket is like that. All right, and then, of course, it's however you glue it down. And the question is, would you want to put a notch in there? It might be tough because I have masking tape back there, not to mention the fact that you don't want your notch to go down into your acetate. So putting a notch on it might be a little difficult. I do think one of the things I might do with these is make the back slightly higher than the front, just so you can get into the pocket easier. Because that's a tough sell. I mean, once it dries, it might not be too bad, but I feel like it's... Oh, we need to dress this up, guys. We need to dress this up. So let's... This one's got... Do I have any... Ooh, here we go. Okay, so if we put this on here like this... Just lay it in there flat. Then, oh good, my hot glue gun's plugged in. I was worried. Then we're going to take this and hopefully if it doesn't cool off too fast, we're going to put it on here straight like that, so they kind of overlap each other. That's fun. And make sure my pocket is still open. I've done that before. Glued a pocket shut. Very easy to do. Something on there. Let's see, what do we think? I do have the paper ruffles that we made yesterday. This is a very blue pocket, isn't it? And then I was thinking something, oh, maybe one of these. It's almost too wide of a ruffle. It's already torn on both ends. Oh, look, I also have a blue lace bow. Look, our little bows from the other day. How fun is that? Look, we're using all kinds of stuff. I feel like everything's on this side of the pocket. What if I put it over here? Turn this over like this. Put this on here. That. What do you think? What the heck? All right. So I'm going to glue the lace here. Sorry, my throat's being a little bit aggravating. I'm going to glue this here and here. We might only get the one decorated, guys. Just because I'm having my struggles. Of course, I wasn't really promising that we would get more than one decorated. Ooh, you know what I just thought about? All right, word of warning. Hot glue on acetate. Can anybody guess? you have to be really careful because I have had hot glue. Hot glue and Fabri-Tac. Hot glue will melt it. Fabri-Tac will chemically dissolve it, depending on the acetate and how it's made. So you just have to watch out for that. I have had that happen, both of those things. So just be careful with your... This is a study in blue, guys. Was it Picasso that went through a blue period? Any of my art buffs? Didn't he do a blue period? Okay, and we're going to stick down one of our bows. I'm so excited. We're using stuff. Okay, I'm going to put glue all over the knot. And I'm going to stick the knot down. Just like that. Oh. Alright, guys. And there we have a little pocket. Now, when you stick something down in here, I did leave enough of the pocket open so that you can see. So, see there? Isn't that cute? I love it. I love how that turned out. Okay? And then, of course, if you wanted to, like, ink it or, you know, distress it or whatever, you could still come back and do that a little bit. You might use a paddle brush if you've already glued everything down, or just ink the edges or whatever. So that's a window pocket. I think these are really cute, guys. They are, sorry, they are a little time consuming. So, you know, you get out your acetate and your book page and you go to make these, make sure that you've got some time to do that. And you don't just have to use book page. You can obviously, you can make these out of cardstock. You can make these out of, I was going to make them out of wallpaper. I'm pretty sure Tina made some out of wallpaper. Now, I will say this. Rather than making these a folded pouch type pocket, I would probably, these ones are kind of small. Depending on the size of my pocket, like these, I've given myself enough that I can fold it in and gusset it, and then just make a pocket, and then it would stick down to a page. So, you can do this either way. You can either do it this way so that you can decorate the inside, or you could make a gusseted pocket with a window in it, and then stick it to whatever page, and your page would show through. Whatever was on your page would show through when you pulled your pocket out. So, that's my take on these window pockets. I hope you guys like this, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 82. We're getting there, guys. We're under 20 days left. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.